Good afternoon. And thank you all for coming for this celebration. That's been a long time coming for the residents of our Whittier Street public housing development and for the residents of Lower Roxbury. We're here to celebrate the groundbreaking of what will ultimately be a brand new Whittier Street neighborhood, 509 mixed income rental units, and we will be replacing one for one each and every deeply affordable public housing units as we undertake this effort. So we've got a lengthy speaking program, and then we're going to go out and actually do a formal groundbreaking. We got some gigantic piece of equipment out there that's going to break ground. I don't know exactly what it's going to do, but I think the TV cameras will love it. We'll get rolling. And without any further ado, I'd like to introduce our first speaker, someone who has, since he was running for mayor, has come to this community on many occasions and was here and makes a point of coming to each annual Unity Day that we have at the Whittier Street Public Housing Development. He has not missed one in 5 years, and I am confident he'll be back next summer for the Whittier Street Unity Day. Please, a warm welcome for our mayor, Martin J. Walsh.
Thank you very much, Billy. Thank you very much. Let me this is an exciting day for me. This is exciting for a whole bunch of reasons. Because when this application went in the first time with the residents, we were excited. We had a whole great team put together with the state and the city and Sheila and Crystal and Billy and Stephanie and Dolly, and everybody got together and we talked about moving forward, and we weren't successful. And it was disappointing because we were really banking on doing something over, and then we didn't give up. And Billy McGonigal was our quarterback on this, and we put another application in. And I mentioned names, but I'm looking out here. It could be everyone in the room was part of it, and we got chosen for the second round of money, and it was exciting because this is the last. One of the last projects that President Obama funded through HUD, and I actually had a chance to personally thank him. And I remember back January last year, for some reason, Whittier Street popped in my head, and I said to Billy, I called him out. I go, Billy, what's going on with the check? Because I was a little nervous. Sorry, Dave, I was a little nervous. And he said, we already got the check and it's cash. I'm like, oh, thank God. So thank you, President Obama, wherever you are, for sending us that check. But I want to thank David, who's the regional director of HUD, who's been an incredible partner here in Massachusetts and in Boston in particular with me. Jay Ash, the secretary representing the governor, but also Jay understands the importance of today. He was a city manager in Chelsea for many years, and he worked for the state representative in Chelsea, so he knows the transformation that a grant like this or a program like this can do, so thank you, Jay. Roger Brown's here, Preservation for Affordable Housing. Madison Park, thank you very much. Sheila Dillon, incredible work you always do. When Crystal Koenigay was here last, she was here with a different title and a different job. And today she's here again, which is, again, in the same area of housing. She doesn't move far around from her passion and what she does. So thank you, Crystal. The tenants at Whittier Street, congratulations. It's you. You're the ones. You're the people that did this. You were persistent with your elected officials. You were pushing Boston Housing Authority. You pushed everyone. This is an incredible day for you, and congratulations. And I know there's a couple residents that came in here. I saw one gentleman show me his picture when he was a little boy standing in front of Whittier Street, and he still lives there. And those are good memories because you'll be able to talk about being here today and put a picture in that book about the transformation of Whittier Street. So congratulations. And again, thank you, everyone. City Councilor Kim Janey, who has been in office now for 2 months, but knows this project because she was an active participant in the community. So she's not new to this. And I want to congratulate Councilor Janey for her great work as well and what she's done. This is Boston's second choice neighborhood grant. The first one was in 2011, the Quincy Corridor. That day, the day that we got awarded, we talked about the impact this grant will have on the future of Roxbury and the future of Boston. We also talked about this project, how it will help us achieve our vision in Roxbury. It will help us invest in safer streets. It will help us preserve affordability of homes. It will help us also expand high-speed internet access. And not everyone might understand, well, why? That's not important. That's really important for our young people, and that's really important for everyone who lives here because it's about the future and connecting people to the future jobs. This new project is going to create open space. I don't know if anyone's ever come to the Family Fun Day here at Whittier Street. It's honestly one of the best you can come to in the city. They have a petting zoo for the kids, and they have incredible food here, and they partner with Northeastern, and they partner with everyone. And the thing that strikes me when I come here is that the kids are playing and having a good time, and they're playing on a blacktop parking lot. And this is going to create opportunities for more open space so young people can enjoy what they have here in this neighborhood. This building is going to establish, and this project is going to establish more connections and more opportunity, and we're excited about that as well, making sure, as we think about Boston, making sure there's a lot of great things happening in our city. There's a new dorm across the way, you can see it going up. There's a beautiful building going across the street, luxury housing, and now here you have luxury housing in Whittier Street that's growing up. So it's a connection of all those different areas, and we're happy about that. We're going to make sure that this great housing development with the long history has a strong future. Billy talked about it. It's going to bring 500 new renovated, not renovated, brand new built units. It's also going to have over 14,000 square feet of commercial space, which is important to connect the community. This project, as I said, was a group effort between city agencies, community groups, nonprofits, and driven by the residents here that live here. And again, I want to thank you for that. I thank you for your leadership. I thank you for your devotion. I thank you for your hard work. This project shows us a model for strengthening our neighborhoods. Our public housing developments serve longtime residents and in generations of families. Public housing should be affordable and high quality, and it should be an option for everyone in the city who needs it. And that's what we've done through Billy's leadership at the Boston Housing Authority and his incredible team that's here is look at each of these developments one at a time and how can we improve the quality of life in those developments and how can we make sure we build property that reflects the needs of our community. And that's what we're doing, and that's what's happening here today. But this grant goes also beyond housing. It supports personal growth of residents. Yeah, it helps address the range of needs regarding financial guidance, health, education, and youth development. And we have the health center next door, and I want to thank Frederica for being with us as well, who's bringing healthy services to our community. This neighborhood really is inspiring. This neighborhood is thriving. And the beauty about the inspiration and the thriving of this neighborhood, it's inspiring and thriving for the people that actually live here and come from here. And that's what's important, and that's what we're going to continue to do with this grant. This project also shows one other thing, that federal support is crucial. It's crucial to inner city, urban America, and something that we have to do. On the federal level, we're seeing some people, leaders, talking about cutting back on housing resources. But here in Mass, we have a strong delegation that's going to continue to push. We have a governor that's committed to housing. In his state of the state the other day, he talked about housing and the need to create more housing. The legislature, Senator Sonia Chang Diaz just joined us. They're working on a housing bond bill that's going to create more opportunities for housing in and around Massachusetts, which Boston is a big part of that. So regardless of what's going on in Washington, that doesn't mean we stop. That means we keep moving forward, we keep building housing, we keep pushing for housing, we keep pushing for people's rights. That's what we're going to do. There's no point of crying and saying, okay, for the next 4 years we're not going to do anything. We're not going to do that. We're going to move forward. So again, that's another excitement thing about what's happening. The city of Boston is going to continue to invest in affordable housing all across our city, no matter what happens. We have the Community Preservation Act, which you passed 2 years ago, and this year we're getting the money in that. We're going to start seeing money go out the door to housing. We've changed our inclusionary development to make sure we got more money into inclusionary development. We're looking at new ways of renovating developments, housing developments in the city of Boston by doing public-private partnerships and figuring ways of building it. And any of those projects that we've done, public-private partnership, the first phase of those projects is always the residents that gets fix first and rebuild first. So we're going to continue to make sure that that continues to happen around the city of Boston. So I just want to end by thanking people. We're going to continue to link our surrounding communities. We're going to continue to break down barriers in our city, and we're going to make sure that no resident should feel isolated or left out. We're going to have to make sure that that doesn't happen. And I just want to thank you all, everyone, for your support. Today is an exciting day. We break grounds, and I look forward to being back here when we're cutting the ribbon on these beautiful new homes for the residents in this great neighborhood. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Our next speaker, as the mayor indicated, is the HUD Regional Director, and without their partnership and without their support, this would not have been possible today. I had the opportunity to meet David shortly after he came into this new position. He represents the entire New England region, and he's from our border state up north, New Hampshire. And when he said he wanted to come over to say hello, I said, well, why don't we meet out at the Mary Ellen McCormick Housing Development, the first public housing development in New England, and a place where we're trying to do a public-private partnership. And we did a tour of my old neighborhood. And it's a pleasure to have him here today. Please, a warm welcome for David Teal, the HUD Regional Administrator.
Thank you so very much. It's such an honor to be here with all of you. First, I'm so proud to be here today and to share in the excitement of this groundbreaking. I want to commend Mayor Walsh, Bill McConaughey, Sheila Dillon, and the entire city team for the outstanding work you did to build strong neighborhoods. I want to recognize Governor Baker and his team, including Secretary Ash and Mass Housing Director Cornegay, for their investment and commitment to this project. I'd like to also recognize Roger Brown. Let's see. Oh, hi, Roger. Roger Brown with POA, and all the incredible partners whose combined efforts have helped to make this day possible. And to the Whittier Street residents, represented today by Stephanie Thomas, Dolly Battle, this day is about you and everyone who calls Whittier Street home. Just recently, I had the opportunity to visit another neighborhood here in Boston, and it was the recipient of the first HUD Choice Neighborhood Implementation Grant, the Dorchester Quincy Heights. And let me just say, it was very, very impressive. And the work that Boston does here to transform neighborhoods and leverage investment by maximizing federal dollars, it's just tremendous. And congratulations, Mr. Mayor. Everyone here today understands that a good home is more important than just four walls and a roof. It's enriched by the institutions that surround it. Our neighborhoods need thriving businesses that boost the local economy, quality schools that allow our children to reach their fullest potential, and healthcare centers that contribute to the happiness and well-being of the residents. With the groundbreaking today, we celebrate another step in the journey to an innovative, healthy and safer neighborhood. And to that, I congratulate all of you and can't wait until we convene here again to celebrate the ribbon cutting. And thank you for all that you do, and HUD is so honored to be a partner. Thank you.
I'd like to recognize a few of our public housing residents that are here today before we move on to our next speaker. From the BHA's Resident Advisory Board, please warm welcome for Val Shelley from our Orchard Gardens. Edna Wilrich, also a co-chair of our Resident Advisory Board. Miss Mina Carr is here somewhere. There's Mina. There's Mina Carr. Dave Turney is here as well. And I would be remiss if I did not mention a member of the BHA Monitoring Committee and the president of the Alice Taylor Public Housing Community, and a very old and dear friend of mine. Please, a warm welcome for Matilda Drayton. Next speaker, as the mayor said, is here on his own behalf, certainly, but representing the governor, Governor Baker as well, someone that has been a vital partner in all of our redevelopment efforts at the Boston Housing Authority and with some of the redevelopment efforts that are being undertaken in the city through Sheila's leadership. So a very warm welcome for our partner from the state, Secretary Jay Ash. Jay? Thanks, buddy.
Well, thank you, everyone. Bill, thank you, and congratulations. The work that you've done, the passion that you've had for this project is remarkable. Congratulations. Really, this is about the power of partnership, isn't it? I mean, think about all the people, all the organizations, all the different levels of government that have had to work together. I'm here on behalf of Governor Baker and Lieutenant Governor Polito, but I'm really here on behalf of the legislature, too. At the State House, we have administration and legislators working together. We have Republicans and Democrats working together, and we're producing good public policy. And the good public policy means that we have the resources to work with our partners on the local level and enhance what our partners on the federal level are able to deliver to support community growth. But, you know, we in government know that we need other partners, and the community-based organizations that have worked on this, POA and Madison Park and Dudley Street Neighborhood Initiative and others. It's really impressive how everyone has come together. And then when you have tenants, you have residents who are so passionate about making their neighborhood better, their community better, their Commonwealth better, their country better, it really rounds it out. And it's just so terrific to be part of all of this. The governor and lieutenant governor have prioritized this project. There's more than $50 million in state dollars that have come here. Mayor, have you cashed those checks yet? It's all cash, yeah, that's right. Don't have to cash checks. But we've put up money to support this, to support infrastructure around the Madison Melnia Cass development. We're excited about this project. We're excited about this project because it first of all comes from the neighborhood. And this is a reflection of what all of you want for your neighborhood, and all of us should want for every community in the Commonwealth. We're excited about this project because tenants are going to get great new housing. And Bill, I congratulate you on figuring out a way to make sure that every tenant that wants to come back can come back. And that's such a powerful, powerful message. We're really excited to see that combined, we're doing something that a lot of other communities point to and say, I wish we could be more like Boston. I wish we could be more like Whittier Street. And that's a great, great place to be. So on behalf of the governor and lieutenant governor, on behalf of our partners in the legislature, I want to thank everyone who has contributed to this, and know that as much as it's tough to write out all those checks, Mayor Walsh keeps on saying we have to write more and more. So we will be back. We'll be back over and again. And we will be working very closely on making sure that the agenda that the city has on the housing side, the agenda that the state has, the governor has filed a new affordable housing package of almost $1.3 billion, and the legislature is busily working on that. Other resources that we have at our disposal to help create affordable housing where affordable housing should go, and bring market rate housing to where market rate housing should go, and combined create community that makes the entire Commonwealth special. So we have the resources, but more importantly, we have the partnership, and this is a result of it. So thank you all for reaffirming what we all believe, and we look forward to celebrating many more things here. Sure.
A few other folks I'd like to recognize. The former administrator of the Boston Housing Authority, former head, president of the Boston chapter of the NAAC, but perhaps more importantly, my dear friend Joe Feaster. Please a warm welcome to Joe. And I would be remiss if I did not recognize my partner and the brains of the outfit at the BHA, my dear friend Kate Bennett. And our next speaker is not only one of my favorite public officials, she's one of my favorite people in the whole world. I got to know her quite well since she was appointed to DHCD, and she's a remarkable human being and a remarkable public servant. Please a warm welcome for Crystal Cornigan.
So this is a great day for me because a little over about 3 years ago, Governor Baker and Secretary Ash appointed me DHCD Undersecretary. And the second day on the job, I got a call from my friends at Madison Park and POA and BHA about, you've got to get the governor to sign this letter. And I'm just like, I can't even figure out where the bathroom is. What are you doing? And so we go through this whole thing, and I do my thing. Those of you who know me, I do my hair on fire thing, where I start swearing and we understand the importance of this deal, and we got it signed, and we got it done for the first time. And as Secretary Ash described, like, we know that these things take partnership. And the team also knows that working with residents is deep in my roots, right? Like, I'm for the people and about the people. And one of the reasons I always say, if I'm good at this job, is because I always remember who I do this job for, right? And I have, so when I became, so this day 6, right? Like, it's day 6, and these guys are like, you gotta come and you gotta speak. And I'm just like, are you guys gonna ever give me any time to do anything? And so, really excited to be here, really happy. I became executive director of mass housing. I started the job a couple of days ago, and thank you. And one of the most, and people had lots of, like, there's been lots of love and congratulations, but one of the things I'm most proud of is the resident groups at Urban Edge, where I worked for many years, they want to have, right, like, they want to have a party for me, right? Like, I haven't worked there in like 3 years, right? They want to have a party for me because, right, like, because of the work I did there, and those are my mamas. Like, they kept me honest, always made me understand why we were doing what we were doing, and, you know, and how to make sure that, you know, the right voices were at the table, and to make sure that my work was representative of them. And it's not about the deal, although the deal is important. It's not about the money, although I love money. It is about the people. And, like, everybody here understands that. It's wonderful to work for the Baker administration. That made it fun. Jay and I always got jokes around things, but we always remembered that it was about the folks. The mayor was always like that. Sheila and I come back from roots, POA, Madison Park, and so it's really exciting to be here. Know that mass housing, you know, is always a good partner, will continue to be a good partner with you all in your endeavor, and we look forward to coming back for the ribbon cutting.
Thank you, Crystal. Next speaker, representing Madison Park and POA. The on-the-ground, day-to-day guy that has been making this happen and will make it happen until we get the ribbon cutting, until we get all 509 units in the ground and occupied. Please, a man that I first met at the redevelopment of the Mission, Maine housing development about 30 years ago, Roger, I think. Shh, I know. Please, a warm welcome for Roger Brown. Roger.
Thank you, Mayor Walsh, Secretary Ash, Regional Director, Crystal, who we've known almost that same 30-year period. We were both 4 years old. I'm sorry, I was 2. On behalf of Preservation of Affordable Housing and Madison Park Community Development Corporation, I would like to thank the mayor, the BHA, the community of Roxbury, and most importantly, the residents of Whittier Street, for giving us the opportunity to help you recreate your neighborhood. This event signifies one milestone in a continuing conversation that started 5 years ago in the basement across the street, and a series of activities focused not only on the recreation of residential buildings, but also in the creation of partnerships between project participants, neighborhood stakeholders, financial partners, and community residents. All of these partnerships provide the support for the bridges that will connect this community to Dudley Square, Boston, and the greater regional economy. When fully built out, the new Whittier Street will contain a mix of public housing, affordable housing, and market rate units, which will provide a variety of housing opportunities for all the residents of Roxbury. Additionally, there'll be some new infrastructure and some new retail opportunities to provide additional amenities for the residents, new public roads, and a real opportunity to knit together this neighborhood. As I said, we've been here about 5 years. The long list of thank yous that I'm supposed to give is a little bit too long because I need to get out of here. But I'm going to take a minute to recognize a couple of people. First and foremost, Bill and Kate, who've been fabulous. The ups and downs, we're smiling now. We didn't always smile. And I should have actually started with the residents and the task force, that 5-year-ago meeting in the basement across the street where we took our vows to protect each other and get this done. We're still married. We still have more work to do. We wouldn't have been here actually without Madison Park CDC. That's been here way longer than us. Jean and her team were the inspiration for us wanting to be involved in this neighborhood. And if I can take a minute, if folks from Madison Park can raise their hand so people can see. We had a great design team. As has been mentioned, we had some master planning. We've been doing this for 5 years with the folks from the architectural team. They're here, Michael, and the Halverson group that's helping us on public realm improvements. We're getting underway. We'll walk across the street. You'll see some work that's underway thanks to a great partnership between my friend Greg Janey and the folks at NEI Construction. Would you guys raise your hands so people know you? Creating a little economic activity in the neighborhood. And finally, our financial partners. Mass Housing, thank you, Crystal. The National Affordable Housing Trust, Citizens Bank, the City of Boston, and the state, thank you, Jay, we'll be back. And lastly, I'm just a little one person that leads a team that's an incredible group of professionals. Mina Jacob, who leads our team in-house, raise your hand. Charlie Durack. Corey Meehan, who's moved on to bigger and better things, or at least different. Deanna Foster, who's helping us on construction. And I know I missed a million people. I'll get you at the ribbon cutting.
The mayor's already recognized Councilor Janey, but I would like to take this opportunity to represent your senator, Senator Chang Diaz. Please, a warm welcome. Our next speaker, and the last speaker before we go out to the formal groundbreaking. But before I do that, I wanted to make, we have some very aggressive minority and woman enterprise undertakings, goals for this project. 51% minority on the construction in this project, and 51% Boston residents. I think that deserves a round of applause. As several of the speakers have said, this would not have been possible without the commitment and the leadership and the tenacity and the advocacy of the public housing community here at Whittier Street. It is a pleasure for me to introduce the most important person in the room here today, the president of the Whittier Street Tenants Association. Please, a warm welcome for Stephanie Thomas. Stephanie?
Wow, 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 wow. First of all, I'd like to thank God for waking us all up this morning. He made it a beautiful day. He blessed you all coming out here to this celebration. And I'm proud to see all of you that could have attended that didn't make it. I don't know all of you by names, but I want to let you all know one thing. I'm standing up here, it's not about me. I'm standing up here for my community and for my residents and for my seniors and for my children. I lived in development since 1954. I'm 67 years old. I thank God I made it this far. I've been through a lot of trials and tribulations, just like everybody else goes through them. But one thing about this girl right here, I'm not ashamed to talk. I'm no different than nobody else. You see, I'm standing up here in front of you all for a reason. If it wasn't for God, I wouldn't be standing here, and you all wouldn't be in them chairs today. You all need to think around and hold one another's hand and look at one another and see how blessed you are. When you get to your jobs and you get there safely to put them dollars in your pocket and you come home to take care of your family, it's a blessing. It's a blessing when you have a voice to speak, your arms, your legs, your eyes, your ears, everything about you. It's a blessing. I know this is not church. I know it's not church. But when I get that fever inside me, I'm coming out with it. I'd like to thank Federica for coming out supporting this celebration. She knocked me on my feet. I wasn't suspecting her, and I thank you for that. That really means a lot to me. I thank you. Petrie, Billy, and Barry, will you two stand, please? Stand, please. Stand, please. I want you all to be recognized for your devotion, your hard work, for Parcel 3, I and the rest of my residents from Whittier Street love you all because we're supporting you and we got your backs to the end. Thank you. Thank you. You know what? I'm gonna tell y'all something right now. You might laugh, you might talk about me, you might say what you want to say about me. Go right on ahead. Because the lower you fall, the higher you rise. And baby, I am still standing. I am still standing. And the point of the matter is that without God, this wouldn't be possible. A lot of us have gone on to glory. And there's only a few of us left in this development across the street that are living. So I thank him for him to give me the knowledge, for giving me my strength, for giving me a way to express my feelings. But like I tell you all once before, it's not about me. It's about my community, it's about where we live at, and it's the people. Thank you.
Yeah. I'd also like to take this opportunity to introduce Stephanie's partner in the context of community leadership, another dear friend of mine who has lived in Whittier Street for over 50 years now. Please, a warm welcome for Dolly Battle. Dolly, come on.
Well, I would like to thank everybody for coming out today. And I also want to say I've been working on Whittier Street for many years. There's a few people I would like to thank personally for helping me get through all this. Bill McGonigal, and Mayor Walsh. But I have to say I'm proud today. Not so proud to see Whittier Street go down, because sometimes I have my little depressed moments thinking about it. But I know it would be a safer and better place to live. So I think I can deal with it. But I also want to say, and I'm going to make it short, very short, that I'm the past of Whittier Street, the present, and the future of Whittier Street. Thank you.
Well said. That wraps up the formal program. I'd like to invite you all to go across the street for the formal groundbreaking. Then you're welcome to come back here to socialize, and there'll be some refreshments. Thanks for coming.
All right. Thank you.